If you have spent much time in the backcountry, you have probably come to some beautiful areas that you thought would be really fun to explore, but simply looked far too dangerous. What we're going to look at today is what to do when the terrain gets a little too sketchy. I'm talking about doing a descent or an ascent, probably both, of something that either is too dangerous to do without gear or cannot be done without gear. Although this is not a rock climbing video, it is a video that's going to talk about using rock climbing gear in your hike so that you can get some places you wouldn't be able to get without it. First thing you're going to need is a climbing harness. Now, these can be kind of made out of rope, but again, in this video, I'm not really trying to show any kind of rope craft, knot work, that kind of thing, but rather just show you the gear that will do the job. So the climbing harness is something that is going to attach you to the rope, to your other equipment, and it's the safest way to do rappels and ascents. Next, you're going to need rope. Now, this rope is not climbing rope in the sense that it is dynamic, something that is built to catch you in a fall. This is static rope. This is something that's not going to stretch as much as dynamic rope, so this is not safe to fall on. But it is the best kind of rope for rappelling or climbing up on the rope. You don't want rope stretching when you're trying to climb it, and it gives you less control when you're trying to rappel. So for descents or ascents, you want a static rope. All right, now I've got a bunch of fun gear out here that I'm going to be trying out and playing with on this rope. But to begin with, I just want to show you what would be considered pretty much like the primo setup for ascending a rope. That involves this. This is an ascender, or a Jumar. Essentially what this does is it grabs onto the rope, allowing you to slide it up, but if you pull down on it, it will automatically lock. If you are attached to this via cord and a carabiner to your climbing harness, then it will actually hold you on the rope with your hands free. Let me show you. Now when you're on the ground, it's pretty easy to slide this up and hang on it. However, I can't climb the rope this way because I've only got one arm. So what I'm going to need is something coming off the rope to put my foot in. For that, I'm going to take this sling and make myself a sort of stirrup out of it. This will connect to something else on the rope, and then I'll be able to stand on it independently of the ascender. Basically, a sling is just a big round strap, but what this allows me to do is just keep doubling it to get smaller and smaller. So if you can imagine me standing in this on another device that won't slide down the rope but will go up, and between the two I should be able to move up the rope. Now, in case you're wondering what this fancy looking thing is here, this is basically a system put together. It attaches with a girth hitch into your harness, and it allows you to clip onto something like an anchor to maintain a certain spacing from that anchor simply by releasing this little toggle here. It's not meant to arrest you in a fall, but it is something that can hold you statically. And because all you have to do is reach up and grab this and yank on it, stand up and pull it, it'll hold you wherever the length is when you stop pulling. Now, this is a really cool device. However, it could be replaced by a simple length of rope cord, as long as it is the length you want it to be. Now, a good lightweight option is a thing called a T-block. This is just a little tiny piece of metal. This could actually replace the ascender up there, but for now I'm just going to be using it for my foot. So this is the same principle. I am reliant upon the carabiner for friction and grip. This is going to go through the carabiner attached to my foot, And this system will allow me to ascend the rope. Now, if you like the little T-block, that's a nice lightweight piece of gear that will work. Kind of the preferred method, though, for many is to tie what's called a Prusik knot around the rope. And this is a knot that slides up, but will lock when pressure is put on it. So this is something that can be used for the foot loop instead of the T-block. The next piece I'm going to show you is the ATC-Guide by Black Diamond. This is a rappelling device, but with this extra guide loop on it, it allows you to turn this into a belay device from up top or to stop progress on a solo ascent. And then we have one of the coolest pieces of gear out there, the Gree. This is an assisted cam device that does not use teeth, so it's not going to tear your rope up if you use it a lot. This has a lever that releases tension, but it also locks up if you fall and keep you from falling even if your hand's free. Now, not that you should ever let go of the brake strand of the rope, but let's say you have an unexpected fall or something falls on you and hits you in the head. That's one reason you should be wearing a helmet when you do things like this. But the Gree will hold you hands-free, and it also allows you to control your descent as you go up and down. So this is something that if you can get a good rope pull going through it, can also ascend the rope and keep you from descending. Of course, there's always the classic figure 8. This allows you to wind the rope around in a certain way that it will slow down your descent. However, this is not something that's going to work and do you a whole lot of good on an ascent. Another piece of gear you might want to look at is the micro traction. This is actually a load carrying device that arrests progress as it's moving up. It's a pulley with a little teeth system in there, but it is rated to hold human weight. So you can actually use this as a way to ascend and not descend as well. All right, I hope this video has been helpful to you and interesting, entertaining, any of those. If it has, why don't you give the video a like and subscribe to Backcountry Pilgrim if you are into hiking, camping, backpacking, some climbing, and the gear that goes with it. Until next time, I'm Doug. Thanks for watching.